there are the big screen phones, and then there is this, the Xperia Z Ultra. The 6.4-inch display puts it in the twilight zone between a big screen smartphone like a Galaxy Note 2 or even the Galaxy Mega 6.3 and a 7-inch tablet. We're not going to get into the positives and negatives of that at the moment. What I'm doing here right now is going to give you an idea of how the phone is built, how it feels, and the unique features. For a phone that is 6.4-inch screen size, this one just about fits in the hand. As you can see, my fingers don't have too much of leeway. Single hand operation is out of question, but if you're holding it like this, it's fairly well balanced. But if you're holding it like this, it's slightly top heavy and tends to want to topple over. It's just over 200 grams, so that's not a light phone at all by any stretch of the imagination. Hold it like this for 5 seconds and the wrist will start to pain a little. Apart from that, the looks, the design, the build quality is exactly like what we saw on the older Xperia Z smartphone. Now, that's a good thing, but it just does lead us to having the suspicion that Sony could be following Samsung's idea of having a slightly similar visual design across its Galaxy range of phones. Now Sony is doing the same with its Xperia range of phones. Good thing, but what we don't like, what we did not like with the Xperia Z and also with this one is the glass on the back. While this glass is toughened apparently and is scratch proof, as you can see, this thing has gotten a lot of scratches. So, and it tends to catch quite a few fingerprints. So that is not something you would want on a premium smartphone. Another thing about this finish on the back is, since this is glass, there's literally no grip available at the back. Thankfully, these slightly higher metallic sides kind of come to save the day for you when you're holding the phone like this or like this. The same UI has continued throughout, so you can see the 3 integrated keys on the UI, which is basically sitting below the dock and at the bottom of every screen as you use the phone. Nothing on the panel here. It's got a fairly slim bezel on the 2 sides. This thing is slightly thicker than it could have been. Had it been lesser, this could probably have been slightly smaller than the Galaxy Mega 6.3. At the moment, it just barely fits in the hand, and it will appeal to only those who really want a big screen phone but do not want tablet in their lives, quite clearly. In terms of specifications and performance, the phone is powered by undoubtedly the most powerful processor available at the moment, the Snapdragon 800. We have the benchmark scores of that available in the detailed review on the website, and it is trouncing the Galaxy S4's Exynos 5 processor as well as the Snapdragon 600 we saw on the HTC One. You can read up the details of that in the review. This phone has the waterproof and the dust resistant ratings. We have a little video demo which shows you how the phone performs underwater. We've played a video on the phone, we've dipped it in water, and it comes out, well, no harm done basically. Sony says you do not need to, they in fact don't need to send a stylus with this particular phone because any pen or pencil can work as a stylus. Now, I've used a ballpoint pen and a pencil on this phone, it works perfectly fine. There is the risk of you scratching the glass here if you're pressing too hard with the ballpoint pen, so just be a little careful on that regard. I'll just show you how it works. So this is a ballpoint pen here. There you go. Fairly smooth. So let's try to show you how well the handwriting thing works. Well, pardon the bad handwriting, but it does kind of read stuff. Well, it basically depends on my handwriting, but it does work. So yeah, there you go. At least as far as the pen response is concerned, it works very, very well. Well, for a phone which is this expensive, you would assume the camera would be very good, but unfortunately, it's not very good. It does fairly well if the lighting conditions are nice. I mean, outdoors in bright sunlight or even indoors in a brightly lit room. But the moment the lighting goes down, there's just too much noise for you to use the images for basically any other usage apart from sharing it on a social network. All in all, this is a very powerful smartphone, if you can call it a smartphone, that is. There's no doubting the performance, there's no doubting the fact that the screen is very, very nice. The full HD display, triluminous, all those technical stuff that we've explained in the review. It just combines well to give you a very good multimedia experience overall. But as a smartphone, well, it's unfortunate that you would probably not end up buying it because it's too big. But the fact that the performance is so good kind of makes us feel sad that we don't see this kind of performance on any other phone, at least not yet. But something that is getting kind of wasted for a wide demographic of users on a phone which is so huge. Maybe Sony will look at having a similar power package in one of the next flagship smartphones, which is of a lot more manageable screen size. This phone is available in the market for just above 45,000 rupees, give or take a few deals that you may find. We believe it's a very powerful smartphone, and for the performance, we give it a 4.5 star rating. But because of the comfort level, because of the big screen size, the rating kind of comes down to, let's say, 4 out of 5. It's a recommended phone, but only for a limited demographic of users.